The third shape we're going to talk about in 9.1 is the triangle. And we know that the formula to find the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. And the reason why that's the formula is if we go back to our friend the rectangle, we know that the formula to find the area of a rectangle is just base times height. And if you chopped that in half, we would be taking that formula, base times height, and we'd be dividing it by 2. And that's how we would get the area of just half of the rectangle. And that shape turns out to be a triangle. So that's why the formula is base times height divided by 2. There are a couple different questions I could ask you. The first one is just to find the area of the triangle. Now, if I gave you a triangle like this, 3, 4, 5, and this turns out to be a right triangle. We'll find out why in the end of chapter 5. But we know that the 4 and the 3 are going to be our base and our height because they're perpendicular to each other. So you multiply those two together, divide it by 2, and you get that the area is 6. So again, the base and the height are perpendicular to each other. Going to this example, we know that the perpendicular sides are this side and this side. And we don't know what the base is. So sometimes, before we can find the area, we have to find the missing dimension. And to do that, you're going to have to use Pythagorean's theorem. So that's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we know one side is 12. One side's missing, and they tell us that the hypotenuse is 20 because the hypotenuse is across from the 90 degrees. So we have 144 plus b squared equals 400. Subtract the 144. You get b squared equals, I'm guessing, 256. Square root it. And you get b equals 16. Is that right? 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So now that we know that the base is 16, now we can go ahead and figure out what the area is by plugging in our base and our height. So 12 times 16 divided by 2 gives us the area is 96 square meters. All right, so that's the first type of question. Of course, the second type of question I can give you is
Mr. Hernandez, Mr. Sprinkle, Mr. Brocha,
that I give you the area,
Howard,
and you have to go back
Shaden.
and find the dimension.
Reminder, if you're attending our meeting this morning in the counselor's conference room, it will begin at 7:20.
To do that, you take the formula, base times height divided by 2. That's what we're always going to start off with, is our formula. And you're going to plug in your knowns. So the area is 15x squared. We don't know what the base is. That's what they want us to find. So that's b. We know that our height is 5x because it's perpendicular. And we have to divide it by 2. There's lots of ways you guys could solve this equation. What I like to do is, instead of dividing by 2, I multiply both sides by 2. And that gets rid of the fraction. So now we have 30x squared equals b times 5x. And again, we're solving for our base. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so to get b by itself, the opposite of multiplying by 5x is dividing by 5x. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. X squared divided by x is x. And that's our base. If you weren't sure, you could go ahead and plug it back in and figure it out. So if our base is 6x, we know our height is 5x. So 6x times 5x is 30x squared. And then since it's a triangle, you have to divide it by 2, and that gets us 15x squared. So that's how we know that that is our correct answer. Those are the two types of questions you'll see regarding triangles.